So they're probably going to ban TikTok. I want you to know that I'll be mostly going onto YouTube. I'll be doing YouTube Shorts. I want to try and get my platform up. I'm actually going to come out with a bang, okay? Because I've been holding back a lot of things that I want to say recently about this Middle East conflict. I want you to know one thing, though. There is a such thing as Islamic privilege. Okay, it is. Islamic privilege means that you can engage in global genocide, ethnic cleansing, forced conversion, forced marriage, the kidnap and systemic rape of indigenous people like the Yazidis, engage in the largest and one of the longest known slave trades called the transatlantic slave trade. You can go and you can take indigenous people's holy land and build your holy structures on top of it, and then demand access to it, and then also threaten to wipe out the indigenous people whose holy land they now got back. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the Dome of the Rock and Al Shifa Mosque. And then when somebody calls you out on it, you scream Islamophobia. That's Islamic privilege. That is getting people to completely ignore all of your bad actions that you still engage in today while pointing out, look at Western imperialism, while you yourself are perpetrators of the worst type of imperialism. And you continue to do it to this day, all in the name of your religion. White privilege is tied directly to Christian nationalism. Islamic privilege is tied directly to terrorism. It's the same fucking thing. I am sick and tired of watching people call out Christian nationalism and the extremists in Christians while simultaneously giving cover to Islam. This is a prime example. This is what they wore at the Oscars. Do you know where that came from? Do you know where that's from? It's from this. Do you know what that is? That is Palestinians celebrating after they murdered Jews, and I've blacked it out, but then proceeded to march through the streets with their heart and the organs that they ripped out of those Jews. That's what that symbol is. This is Islamic privilege. Islamic privilege wants you to ignore this, the 12 tribes of Israel, which then became the Kingdom of Israel, which then the Ottoman Empire, after the Romans, caused multiple diasporas, where we get the term dispersed from. And then during the Ottoman Empire, after caliphate after caliphate after caliphate after caliphate, they go to the Temple Mount, which is Israelis' holy sites, where King Solomon built his temple, and they colonized it and built their own fucking religious things on top of it. It's not your land. So I am a Zionist because I believe in the indigenous people of that fucking land. The Dome of the Rock should technically, if we keep within the same thinking of the Lakota Indians and Mount Rushmore, the Dome of the Rock should be torn the fuck down and the temple rebuilt. That is Islamic privilege.
And here it starts. Islam burst out of the Arabian Peninsula and immediately starts attacking the Middle East. And notice that it doesn't take long until they're crossing the Mediterranean and attacking southern France and Spain. Notice something here. Most people think of Islam, they think of Arabs, they think of desert. And yet here we see that Islam is projecting power throughout the Mediterranean. Notice how the little islands of the Mediterranean are getting hammered. The navy of Islam would attack coastal towns, kill, rob, rape, and then take slaves. So this whole battle map, as it unfolds, you're seeing slaves being taken. Over 1 million slaves were taken out of Europe into the Islamic world. That's something you don't think about much, but it's absolutely true. There were over 200 battles fought in Spain alone. And we also see, however, on the east coast in Turkey, that Islam is trying to break into Europe. Now, what's going to happen is, in Spain, this ongoing fight that lasted for 400 years, the Christians are going to push back the Muslims. But now then, what has happened over in the east is that Constantinople has fallen, and now then Eastern Europe is getting hammered. The jihad now comes to Eastern Europe. It's pushed out now of Spain. Northern Africa is now completely Islamic. The Middle East is completely Islamic. This is all jihad, relentless jihad. And why is it so relentless? Well, Muhammad was relentless in his jihad. And these people are good students of Islam, and so it's against the kafir, on and on. It was traditional that when the Sultan came to power, the brand new Sultan, he would immediately try to launch new wars because he was going to be noted in his Islamic history as to how well he fought against the Kafir.